Setbacks are inevitable, even for superheroes like Batman. Whether it be physically or mentally, we all fall pretty hard in some ways. After all, we're only human, and the only way to completely avoid injury, mistakes, and setbacks is to step back entirely and just play it safe. But for those fully committed to their craft and for those people who are hungry for improvement and success, we know that playing it safe isn't really an option. So how do we deal with the physical and mental stress our lives place on us? How do we better prepare ourselves for those difficult times? And maybe how would someone like Batman deal with it? From a scientific standpoint, rest and recovery are of utmost significance for both our mental and physical health. This is especially true if you're a person who lives an active lifestyle, because obviously the more stress we put on our body and mind, the more rest we're gonna need. However, like Batman, we can often forget or ignore our limits, leading to injury or burnout, and this can be really heavy on our bodies, and it can be incredibly frustrating and discouraging to accept any delay in the progress towards our goals. But it doesn't have to be that way. Try to understand this concept. Where one facet of our progress requires rest, there lies opportunity for growth in the remaining areas. In other words, if you sprain your ankle, you have to take time to rehabilitate the ankle. And so while this healing process takes place, you now have time to address other weak points that would have otherwise been overlooked. You decide to focus on your grip strength or your core stability or an entire muscle group or any other physical attribute or skill. You may even decide to dedicate your time to something different, something aligned with your career, taking a step away from the gym towards another goal that is equally as important. The initial injury now serves as a reason, and a good one, for extended recovery. You take a week off and your entire body benefits from the rest, coming back even stronger than it was before the injury, and weak points were recognized and improved upon. This is a really strong example of how someone like Bruce Wayne would handle any physical setback. It's also a similar situation that I found myself in recently when I injured my tricep at the gym and I couldn't perform many pushing movements, so I used the opportunity to focus on my lower body strength and my stability. And I think that's a good way to handle that particular physical setback. Mental setbacks, on the other hand, can be a little bit more complicated. It's really important to understand the relationship between the body and the mind. A healthy mind greatly contributes to a healthy body and vice versa. It's because of this correlation that can make a mental setback so difficult to deal with, because it affects us physically as well. And we've all experienced some hardships in life, so we know how that sort of pressure can feel. However, in the same sense, we're all here together on this video, if you're watching now, and if we're here, that means that we have persevered in one way or another, and that's not easy, but yet we did it. And that, I believe, is the first step towards healing the mind, recognizing and respecting your own strength and ability to overcome. We tend not to give ourselves enough credit for that. It can be really difficult to see things clearly in the face of adversity, so it's also important that we remain level-headed and grounded in the moment. When we allow our mind to race in all different directions towards every negative possibility, it's really easy to lose focus, and I think we just end up making worse decisions. So we have to think rationally, and we have to consider different possibilities and outcomes intelligently, but don't dwell on them. Stay focused on what is in your control and just take the smallest steps towards improvement. And if you do that repeatedly every day, repeat it, consistency, that's the recipe for success. Batman understands this too well. His character is almost entirely a symbol of perseverance, which is why many of us can relate to his story, at least in some capacity. So in that sense, we should strive to be like him. It's not in our nature to accept defeat. We're literally wired to overcome adversity, even when it feels like the impossible. So continue to be strong, continue to chase improvement, continue to fight, and continue to overcome.
Because we all face adversity in life. Everybody gets beat up by life. Everyone has disappointments. Everyone makes mistakes. It's not about how many times you fall down, because we all fall down. It's about how many times you get back up. It's about how you get back up and get back in the game. That's what defines you. And that's a lesson we can all take from Batman. Because that's a choice we all make. You make that choice about how life affects you. You can't change the fact that you're going to have disappointments. Life just throws curveballs at all of us. We all stumble. That's life.